You know of Andrew Jackson trying to kill the banks in his second term when he was in office. Seeing the nearly complete devaluation of the dollar since its most recent creation, issuance and takeover in 1912, when the fractional reserve-based private institution that loans us as a nation all of our currency with interest that can inherently never possibly be paid back, because by design it is being exponentially inflated in a race to collapse. Aren't discussions of national debt completely moot and even negligent until the issuance and control by the people of sound money is achieved? Until then, aren't we just treating symptoms of disease instead of curing it? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we can take the rest of the time on trying to answer that question. I think there are obviously different economic theories. Some theory says, some people suggest that America and countries ought to go back to the gold standard, so that, a dollar means you can go get a dollar of gold out of the Federal Reserve. I don't agree with that. The Federal Reserve clearly now is having a policy that says easy money, to try to keep interest rates low, to try to stimulate the economy, because quite honestly, Congress is not doing enough to get our country's balance sheet back in order. I believe actually the Federal Reserve has generally done a pretty good job. You obviously would, I think from the sounds of your question, would disagree. But I think that, I do believe we do need to start getting our debt under control, because while people around the world are buying our debt now, buying our treasury bonds now at a really low interest rate, I would agree with you that the worst thing that could happen would be if suddenly people said, well, I'm not sure America's going to be able to pay off these debts, so instead of getting 2% on my money, I want to get 6 or 8% on my money. That would cripple our economy and would make everything dramatically more expensive. Any of you who are trying to buy a house would probably place the house right out of value. It would mean the amount of money that we'd have to pay in interest payments in terms of our annual budget would quadruple, squeezing out again things like education. So while I don't agree fully that we need to, that the Fed is completely undermining our currency, I do believe we need to have more fiscal discipline than either political party has shown, and it's why I've been willing to make both sides mad by saying, hey, we need to raise revenues, we need to raise some taxes, but we also have to cut spending. I think that would at least get us back on a little bit sounder path. But thanks for the question.